Because if I'm an option, don't you pick me. Don't you weigh me on a scale of convenience or rationalize why another option might serve you better. I was never meant to be compared, my baby. I was meant to be chosen. And see, love is not a pros and cons list. It's not a side-by-side comparison of who texts back faster or who looks good on paper. Baby, I am not paper. I'm flesh, spirit, and some fire. And you don't analyze fire. You respect it or you burn. And don't treat me like a backup plan into your bench of indecision. If my presence don't feel like a priority, then my absence reminds you what party feels like, and I'm not the maybe in your sentence, I am the period. I am not the side note in your margin, I am the headline and bold, and baby, you can't half love a margin. You either love it fully or not at all. Don't call me friend when all you mean is convenience. I'm not the just checking in text that you send when loneliness fills your corners, and I'm not the shoulder that you lean on when you've exhausted everyone else. See, my presence isn't up for discount. You can't reach for it when your spirit feels broken. So the next time that you gotta decide on whether my value fits into your existence, remember this. You can't bargain with what's priceless. And baby, you can't discount what's divine. And if my name ever makes it into your table of choices, let it also be the name that you can't walk away from. Because see, if I'm an option, don't you pick me. I wasn't built for deliberation. I was built to be honored, to be loved with no hesitation. So if your friendship needs rationalization, if your love needs justification, and baby, I'm good, because see, I ain't waiting nowhere to be picked. I was already chosen. By peace, by purpose, and by God.
Good morning and welcome to another Conversation with Mose. And as always, I pray life is treating you well, wherever you are in the world, and that you're one day closer to your dreams, hopes, prayers, and aspirations coming true. Decided to do something a little different and have some poetry from a guest poet. Well, actually, she's a guest from TikTok, and her name is Lisa Marie. If you want to check out her stuff and other poets, it's Lisa Marie, and the page is Seasoned Dialogue on TikTok. It's Seasoned Dialogue. I found it over the weekend. Loved all the poets and the poetry that were speaking, and I was inspired by that particular poem. I was literally inspired, and again, I wasn't planning on doing a podcast this weekend, but sometimes I get inspired and I want to do one, and that again spoke to me. So my subject matter for today is love is a revolution. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. Love is a revolution. And I'm starting to learn that lesson more and more every day. And what I mean is love is intentional. Love is purposeful. Love is all encompassing. It is, and we speak of God. And of course, God is the ultimate love. But I think when you love somebody or love anyone or anything, it becomes a part of who you are. And that's revolutionary. And I think about music. Like recently, I've been listening to Jill Scott, her album, To Whom It May Concern. And there's so much love in that record. Like she said, it's a complete body of work. And that's revolutionary. And I believe personally right now, we're living in some very troublesome times, very turbulent times that we will never forget in our history, personally, professionally, however, whatever take you want to take from it. But I think we have to I know we have to be real intentional with our lives at this point, who we love, how we love, because I keep saying I know we need to love each other more in a more revolutionary way. And even sometimes, and I'm speaking to myself, people that are difficult to love. I think that's the ultimate revolutionary thing to do. And I wanted to do a podcast that was a little bit more inspiring, a little bit more positive. Not that the other ones were negative, but I wanted something that was that we could use, something we could do to feel better. Because when I podcast, it makes me feel like I'm releasing something in my spirit, like giving birth every time I do it. And it's something that brings me joy, especially on the tough days when I don't feel like saying anything. And when I go back and listen to it, I'm glad I did. Because again, this has nothing to do with spiritual beliefs or political beliefs, or this is just day to day. And I think, again, we have to be intentional, love hard. But what I love about that poem is like she said, she already chose herself. And that's how I feel. You're not looking for anybody to choose you. And if they do, you want it to be because they made that choice, not because you convinced them or you had to do something to get them to like you or to, again, choose you. And I love that she spoke that. Like, I don't want to be an option for you. I don't want to be somebody on a list of comparisons of people that I don't even know. And to be honest with you, I often feel that way. Like, I'm never going to be chosen the way I would like to be chosen. But honestly, I want it to be organic. You know, whoever chooses me, whoever picks me for whatever it might be, a job, an opportunity. Someone bought my book the other day. Someone bought a book in my store. I don't know the person. I don't know what inspired them to buy my book Naked to the World, which is several years old. It's like my 7th or 8th book. And I don't know what inspired her to buy it. You know, I did my thank you card. I signed the book. I'm going to send it off this week. But that's love to me. It doesn't matter why she bought it. Excuse me. She could have been inspired to get it through a podcast. She could have saw me online. I don't know. Her name is Cynthia. And how cool is that? And I never, when I say I treat all my customers the same, whether they buy a book, a t-shirt, a cup, a basket, anything, I consider them a friend, you know, to support me, somebody they don't know. And that's love. That's the love I like. I like she chose me. She chose to do business with me. That's a feeling that never goes away. And I try to translate that into my everyday life because I didn't get picked as a boy. You know, I really didn't. I was always picked last for the team or not picked at all. So I still carry that with me, you know, and I'm slowly letting that go and not taking it personally. But I do love who I am. Now that's something that I'm very proud of. And loving yourself is the ultimate revolutionary love to me. And it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort to love yourself. And I purposely, intentionally get up to do something for myself, something that makes me feel good, something that makes me happy, something that makes me smile. And again, you have to be intentional, self-aware, and your mental state, your spiritual state, everything has to matter to you. And you're not good for other people if you're not good. To me, let me say that one more time. You're not good. And you can't help other people if you're not good. And I know it's not easy. You know, I can speak from personal experience. It's not easy to get up and feel motivated and feel like you can do what you need to do when you need to do it. But it's one of those things that we have to, again, be intentional. And with our children, with our neighbors, is it easy to do? I wouldn't say it was easy, but I think it's something we have to practice. And again, it gets back to, I started with myself, loving the flaws, loving the aging process. And I'm determined that I'm going to keep loving myself, keep bettering myself. I love my mind. I love my brain. I never know what I'm capable of until I'm doing it. And again, it's something we have to dig deep in within ourselves and be willing to do the work with other people as well. And you'll be surprised at what you come away from situations like that. I mean, when it comes to, like I said, radical love, radical situations. And for me, it's like, how did I get here? How do I do this? And you have to ask God for help, the universe, or whatever you choose to get inspiration from. But love, again, is something that we can't live without it. We can't. And I wrote a book years ago called Love Infinity, my second poetry book. And it was about love being infinite and that we need love from different sources to survive. And what I mean by that is love is like family love, self-love, God's love, and just different energies of love. So when you lose one of those loves, you still have the other ones sustaining you. So you're not putting all your energy in one basket of love. So it's like you're getting it, especially God's love. But the most important one is the love you have for yourself. You can't lose that. So even if you have broken up with somebody or if somebody hurt you, you need those other loves to survive. And I'm speaking from personal experience. It's like if you're hurt, you have to lick your wounds. You have to tend to your wounds. You have to gradually put your heart back together again. But don't try to do it by yourself. And also tell people, be honest about how you feel. Because I will, again, believe that love is also sacred. Love is sacred. I think we toss that word around so willy-nilly and whimsically that I don't believe in that. I don't think love is whimsical. I think it can be fun. It could be silly, crazy in a good way. But I think we toss that word around too much. You know, when you tell somebody I love you, it shouldn't be something you're forced to do or something you have to respond because you feel like you have to reciprocate because they told you they love you. I don't think it should be like that. It shouldn't be transactional. It should be a feeling inside. There's nothing like that. You can't describe it. I mean, love it's just something you embrace. You let it engulf you and let it take over you. And I don't think there's anything wrong with losing yourself in love, especially if it's helping you, if it's growing you, nurturing you. Not to be confused with obsessive love or crazy love. You know, when you get into radical, toxic love, that's a different type of feeling. I mean, like the deeper rooted love, like the love of a parent to a child, willing to do anything for that child, willing to pour into that child. That's love to me. And even parents who have to love difficult children that they didn't expect. You know, my heart goes out to parents and people that are challenged by love. You know, love can be a challenge. Sometimes you don't like the people that you love. You know, you go and they might not like you. And that's okay too, you know. But it comes back to God for me. God helps me love everybody, but he really helps me love myself. Especially on the days when I don't feel valued or important or just losing my purpose. Like, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to be doing here? And that frustrates me. It does. It really frustrates me too. But I get back to loving myself, doing something that makes me feel good, doing something that brings the love out of me. I love speaking to people. I hope and pray that my podcast speaks to people in the world, whether they're in their car, at home, in the bed, just going about their day. You know, I like the idea of getting into the hearts and minds of people and hopefully getting them through another moment, another difficult moment. Maybe they're having a challenging day, or maybe they didn't want to get out of bed, and maybe I got them up and said, you know what, I never thought about it like that. And I also believe in being present with the people that we love. Sometimes we have so much on our minds and we're not there. We're not present. And being present is an act of love, very much so. I mean, being there, listening, engaging, receiving what somebody's telling you, what they're giving you. I know it's difficult when you have a lot of things on your mind. I do. Some sleepless nights, some restless days. You're going to have those. But get your rest. Getting rest is another act of love. Don't sleep on resting and napping or taking it easy, because I also believe that doing nothing sometimes is something, especially for the person that's always doing something. That's self-love. That's self-care. Sometimes you got to say no. Sometimes you got to turn the phone off. Sometimes you got to turn the television off. Get off social media and just be with your thoughts. Be alone. Be purposeful. And again, it gets back to that poem. Like she said, I've already been chosen. So all you got to do is walk in it. And I'm learning to walk in it. And I say learning because I learn something new every day. I'm definitely walking in my purpose. And to be honest with you, my relationship with God has never been like this. It's never been so intense, because I literally speak to him and he has to lead me on every decision I make now at this point in my life. I have to be led to certain situations, led by love, if you will. I have to be led. I can't just do something. If God isn't in it, I don't care what it is. I can't do it. Even if I want to do it. If I don't have his support in the decisions that I make every day, then I can't do it. Now, mind you, I still trust my instincts about some things, but sometimes God will lead me another direction. It's like, well, I wanted to do this, and then I'm happy about it. When he leads me to it, it's like, oh, okay. I started podcasting during COVID. I found an outlet. I wrote my screenplay during COVID. I was led to do those things. I started my Etsy page during COVID. And again, when you're led, I started back in college because I was led to do it. I met my partner because I was led. And I want to talk about relationships too. Stop looking for perfection. I think I'm learning every day about love and what I believe it's love, romantic love. We have all these expectations. We do. But what I believe, honestly, is that we look externally for someone to make us happy 24 hours a day. And I don't know how realistic that is. I believe that we treat love like chewing gum or something that's sweet in the beginning. And then once the flavor's gone, or once the sweetness is gone, we're right back where we started. We want that exciting, radical love again, passionate. But you have to do that for yourself and for the other person. Because I'm going to say it, anybody that's having sex, cheating, or whatever it is you're doing, sex is always great in the beginning. I don't care who you're doing it with, whether you're cheating on somebody or you're on your honeymoon phase. Love is always evolving, but sex can be fleeting, and I'm a realist. I mean, I can masturbate by myself. I can get my own self off. And I hate to be, but I think we use it as an excuse to do things, and I don't know about open relationships. I don't know about multiple partners. I'm not really an expert on that. I have to say, do what works for you. But again, love should be intentional, starting with yourself. No one person can make you happy all the time. And it gets back to, you have to decide who you want to be. And being honest with yourself is another act of love to me. And a lot of people can't do that. I find interesting. A lot of people can't be honest with themselves about who they are. And you have to be. Because how can you be honest with somebody you love if you're not being honest with yourself? And I don't care what it is, honestly. You have to own it, walk in it, because they're going to find out whatever it is. They're going to discover it. And it's nothing worse than having somebody tell you who you are. They shouldn't be telling you who you are. You should already know. You should already know who you are as a person, as a being, what your purpose is, and even if you don't know what your purpose is, you should be on the road of discovery of what your purpose is. And again, that's the ultimate love, to know who you are, why you are, and walking in that. That's an act of love. So when I say love is revolutionary, it's from all sides of love, not just one, because we always focus on the romantic part. And exercise, eating right, that's self-love. And self-love is 24/7, 7 days a week. You have to do that. Because again, you're not good for anybody if you don't. And it's one of those things I get up, and like I said, some days, I'm not going to lie, I feel like shit. I don't feel like, I'm not motivated by any damn thing. I want to stay in the bed. I want to have the covers over my head, and I don't want to move. And I know that's not something I should be admitting, but there are some days I do feel that way. And then it got to the point where some days, more than others, I could go weeks, and I would get up and get back in the bed, and now I'm being honest, and I'm getting better at getting up and coaching myself, telling myself, get up, get your ass up, do what you got to do. And what I've learned to do is just, even if it's just one thing, do one thing that makes you happy. Do one thing that gets you out of bed. And then you can do 2 things, 3 things, 4 things. But don't beat yourself up, but just do one thing. If you're on a journey of losing weight, get up, take a walk. Then the next day, maybe do a run. Another day, do something else. And believe me, it helps. Some of us can't afford therapists. Some of us can't afford to go to the doctor right now. Some of us don't have those kind of supportive friends that we need, or not necessarily need, but maybe want in our lives. And continue to be honest. I've met some really cool people online that inspire me, and talk to those people. I do think that social media can be good if you're seeking out and allowing the right people to speak into your life. I've had strangers, again, speak into my life that I didn't even know. And just like the lady who bought my book, again, I don't know what inspired her to do it, but I'm glad she chose me. I'm glad she chose my book. I don't know if she was buying it for herself, or if she was buying it for her son or nephew or brother. I really don't know, or just for herself. And that, again, makes me feel good at the end of the day. And we can also get caught up in our problems and forget the love around us. And I know angels walk with me, if you believe in that sort of stuff. I do. I believe I'm surrounded by angels, like all the time. I really, really do. Demons too, but I really believe that the angels protect me and have been protecting me. Sometimes I believe they show themselves through actions, and I don't know about you, that makes me feel good that I'm not alone in that regard. And I have been feeling very disillusioned, disappointed, hurt by a lot of things in recent years and recent months. And I don't want to lose myself to the world. I don't want to lose the love I have within. And I write about love a lot. If you pick up my books, I write about love a lot. And self-love is Black love. All of those things matter to me. Black love matters to me. Nothing against others, but I feel like black love also is the most challenged love. But when black people win, black couples, black people win, it makes me feel good. I love seeing people do well, especially when they're black. If it's education, marriage, parenting, I love seeing us excel when we have so many challenges. That's the ultimate love, to rise above foolishness, racism, unemployment, whatever it might be, whatever, things that are coming against us. I love seeing it. I'm inspired by it in music, especially music. I love that artists are putting their thoughts and love into projects that speaks to the world. They know what's happening. I love artists that know what's happening and they're not ignoring it. They're literally putting it in the art. We need that right now. I need it. I've always needed it. I love when a song speaks to me, or a movie, or a book. That's love to me. If it moves me to where I cry, and I don't have a problem crying. I've said in another podcast, sometimes you just gotta let it go. I cried yesterday, and it was a deep cry. It's not Viola Davis kind of cry. And because I had been holding back, and I knew I needed to do it, I just didn't want to. And it was emotional, and I needed it. I needed to do it. And as I said, I'm starting school next week, and I'm purging a lot of things. I got to get my mind straight for my education, because I love myself. I love my mind. I love feeding my mind. So I can't have the noise, the background noise, interfering with my relationship with school. So if it means crying, if it means podcasting, if it means creating, anything that's going to purge those emotions, then I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to get on here and talk about problems and bills. And I already did a podcast on bill collectors. You know my thoughts on that. So I'm always going to try to inspire, others to get up, get out of bed, do something. Do it for your kids, do it for your parents, do it for yourself. But don't let the world get inside your being. Fight to the death is my motto. My thing is, you're worth it. We are worth the fight. And then also choose yourself. The right people will choose you. And if you're single, keep choosing yourself. Live your life as if the person was already there, and make room for them in your life. If that's what you really want. But also be honest with yourself and whoever you might be choosing. And if they think you're too much or whatever, then that's not the person for you. But choose yourself first. And like I said, do the work. Purge and get rid of things that maybe you don't need anymore. You're not the little girl anymore. You're not the little boy anymore. Let go of the bad relationships that you hang on to in your mind, that you bring into the new relationships, the new friendships. Let that go. And I know it's easier said than done. Believe me, I do. And I'm speaking to myself as well. And I'm not telling you anything I'm not going to do. Believe that. And I also want to end it by saying that thank you for stopping by my store. Even if you don't get a chance to buy anything, I'm going to be there. I'm going to still be adding stuff. Once we get into the holiday season, I'm going to be adding more books. I'm actually working on my 14th book, which is My Dog is Black Too. And I'm doing something different. I'm kind of making a coffee table poetry book. So we'll see how that works out. I'm hoping to have it out by at least early 2027 or before the holidays. But I'm taking my time with it, really taking my time. So, as always, I pray life is treating you well wherever you are in the world, and that you're one day closer to your dreams, hopes, prayers, and aspirations coming true. Thank you for listening.